What's up, everybody? Coach Mark here, and I got to go over something real quick. So, I often get stopped in the gym, and people ask me, how do I look the way I look? I mean, I'm no Mr. Olympia or anything like that, but I pride myself in being in good shape and, learning and understanding how to manipulate my body and change compositions and lose weight, gain muscle, do all that fun stuff that I've learned over the years. But a lot of people think there's always a one trick to this thing. And it's not. There's no magic answer to it. It's very simple, actually. It's literally just watching your calories. People don't understand the simplicity of putting in a little bit of effort just to lose a little bit of weight. Okay. Now, we're going to go over that today because, I've been asked, how did you get to look like that? How do I lose a little bit of weight? And the number one questions I always get and have always gotten throughout the years were, well, how do I lose a little belly fat? Or how do I lose a little weight under my arms? I'm just going to say this right now. This presentation is going to be a little bit forward, a little bit blunt. So, but it's honest. So that's the whole thing about this, that you have to be honest with yourself and you have to be honest with others, especially if you want to help somebody. Okay. Sometimes the truth hurts a little bit, but you have to be honest. And that's what I'm aiming to do here. So there's no such thing as spot reduction. Okay, we're just gonna start with that. There's no such thing as spot reduction. If anybody is looking to reduce fat in their stomach, for example, how do I get a flatter tummy? How do I lose weight in my abdomen? How do I lose weight in my arms? You don't. It's called liposuction. That's the only way, right? And that's not safe. And we don't have to go to surgery to that extent to trim out our midsection and our arms and all that stuff, right? The fat on our body burns as a whole. It burns everywhere. And generally, the way we lose it is the first place we gain it is the last place we lose it. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. All of our bodies are different. They store fat in different ways. Some people store fat in their belly. Some people store fat in their legs or their butt or their arms, their neck. I mean, who knows where you store it? But usually, the first place you gain it is the last place you're going to lose it, generally speaking. Okay, so we're going to cover a bunch of different things. I'm going to show you how to literally start losing weight today just by tracking your calories. I've made a video on tracking calories before and the simplicity of tracking them and using a weight scale or food scale. We're going to go over this again today. I'm going to try to make it as easy and as forward as possible, okay? So stick around. We're going to get going. Again, my name is Coach Mark. I'm the owner of Mindset Performance. You can find me at Mindset Performance llc.com. I offer nutrition consultations, meal plans, exercise plans and prescriptions, performance coaching, and keynote speaking. So stick around. Let's get started. All right. So I want to just go over the harsh reality of things. So look at this picture. Is this you? Have you been in this position before where, oh my God, I need to lose weight. What do I need to do? I need to go on a diet, right? That's everybody's first thing. And the first thing everybody grabs when they go on a diet is a salad. And nobody likes to eat salad all the time. Some people do, but nobody likes to eat salad all the time. Okay, it's boring. It tastes the same after a while, and it's just nasty, right? So when it comes to losing weight in a diet, it's again calories in versus calories out. I know that sounds cliche. I know we've heard that a million times, but it's true, right? So the law of thermodynamics does not change. Your body, the way it uses calories, and I've mentioned this in one of my other videos, is calories are our macronutrients coming from our proteins, our carbs, and our fats. Our body burns off carbs first, then fats, then proteins. We don't ever want to burn proteins, right? So that's why those low carb diets tend to work in the beginning, because you're primarily using fat for fuel and you're burning off fat and you don't have any carbohydrates. But after a while, what happens, right? Just like with any diet, especially one where you're eating a salad every day, you get tired really quickly, or you get really bored, or your energy levels just are depleted. Sometimes you get brain fog. Your hormone levels can be jumping all over the place. Why? Because you're not providing your body with the actual nutrients and vitamins that other foods that you should be eating, healthy foods, will be providing you with, right? So you're eliminating that stuff. So yeah, in the beginning, you might lose weight, but how many of you out there know somebody, or maybe you've tried it yourself, have done one of these low carb diets, lost weight, or your friend lost weight, and then the next year they're heavier than they were when they started the diet in the beginning, right? Why? Because they're not properly tracking their calories. They lose the weight, they think they hit their goal, and they can go right back to the way they were eating, and then all of a sudden they gain weight. But now, because they've depleted themselves of so many different nutrients and whatnot, and probably underate, now their body wants to hold on to everything because it's almost like it's starving, right? So that's not good, right? We want to avoid that stuff, right? The fact of the matter is, we're going to track our calories. We're going to do that here shortly. I'm going to pull up the screen. We're going to all do it together. I'm going to show you how to do it, as simple as it is. Mind you, I do this stuff for nutrition consultation, so literally giving away money doing this, right? And that's fine, but I want to help, okay? So what happens, right? You get your calories, right? And you have to know how many calories you need as an individual, right? So what I need for me to properly fuel my body for the day is different than what you need to fuel your body for the day, right? So think of calories as fuel, right? Now, the harsh reality of this is, if you do your calculations and let's say you needed 2,000 calories a day to put yourself in a caloric deficit to lose weight, okay? I've mentioned this in another video before to put this in a different perspective. If you went to your local fast food chain, okay, and you looked at their menu and it has the listed calories per item, and you bought 2,000 calories worth of food from a fast food chain, and you ate that every day, guess what? You're going to lose weight. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy, right? But think about it. If you need 2,000 calories a day to lose weight, and that puts you in a deficit, and you're getting it from a fast food place, but it's still 2,000 calories, you're still going to lose weight. Now, would I ever recommend that? Hell no. Do not ever do that. That's horrible. You're going to feel like crap if you do that, right? We know that that stuff's not good for us, but it's the perspective. It's the mindset of that, okay? So you would lose weight, right? The law of thermodynamics, as mentioned before, does not change. Your body does not know what calories come from where, come from what. It just knows that calories is fuel and it's going to burn it. Now, if you have any health conditions or medical conditions, sure, certain things are going to kind of play a factor into that, okay? But we are talking about a healthy general adult who just needs to lose weight, okay? So we're going to go into that a little bit further. All right, so to go a little bit further with this calories in versus calories out and that perspective of, if you ate fast food all day and you still put you in a deficit to lose weight, you would, correct. Just like on the opposite side here, you see a nice healthy meal consisting of grilled chicken or salmon with some type of vegetables. Looks fantastic, right? So if you, for maintenance phase calories, let's say you needed 2,400 calories to maintain your current body weight, okay? But if you ate 2,750 calories of that healthy meal on the left every single day, guess what? You're going to gain weight. Yeah, you're going to gain weight, right? So that's the purpose of explaining this, right? Again, you don't have to put yourself on these crazy restrictive diets to where you're suffering and you're not looking forward to your meals and you're doing all this crazy stuff. Just be mindful of what's healthy for you, what's not healthy for you. We all know this stuff for the most part. And just track your calories, okay? That's it. So let's jump into how to find our calories. I'm going to show you how to do that. Follow along with me. Take some notes. When we're done with this presentation, do it on your own. Get your calories and start tracking. And I guarantee you, you will lose weight. All right, so now we're going to jump into getting our calories, right? So I'm going to show you what I use for thousands of people, what I use for myself. And if you were to sit down with a consultation with me, this is exactly what we would go through. So I'm going to share my screen here. And yes, Google, our best friend, right? So we're going to go into Google and we're just going to type in, see, it already popped up there, but it's macro calculator. So macro calculator. I'm just going to click on the one that I have there. Now, yes, I know I said before, I just want to focus on daily caloric needs. And the only macro really we want to keep our eye on is that protein. So we're going to use the macro calculator because it does have a nice breakdown of all the other macros. So in the event that you want to go a little bit further and actually track your individual macros, you can. Also, this site gives you great ranges, a low end range to a high end range for each macronutrient. But again, we are going to focus on the daily caloric needs and we're going to focus on just the protein and that's it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to to manipulate this tool and to not manipulate it. Obviously, we just want to use it, right? We don't want to manipulate anything. We want to be honest when we're doing something, right? So we're going to click on this one here. So it should be through calculator.net. And you want to click on macro calculator. Mine's up top probably because I've used it so many times. But for you, it might be, might have to scroll down to find it a little bit here. But nevertheless, just click on macro calculator. And this is going to open up here. Now I'm going to use myself as an example here, and I'm going to show you the difference when it comes to the activity level, which is why I harped on before. The more active you are, the more you need to eat. The less active, the less you need to eat. And I'm going to show you the difference here. And I'm going to also show you what it looks like to put in a calculation to lose weight and then to maintain weight by altering the activity level as well. This is a super easy tool. In fact, excuse me, at the end of any consultation that I do, I always provide the link to this in an email thread to any of my clients that I sit down with so that they can go in, and if they wanted to change anything, they could. Of course, they could always come back to me for further questions, or if they wanted to use this to help a friend or family, then by all means, they can have at it, because again, it's on Google, so anybody can kind of go through this. So let's get started here. This is very simple to use. We're going to look here at the screen. I'm going to put in my age. I am 38 years old. I am a male. You could click on female also if you are female. Male, 5'7" for me. And this morning I weighed 174 pounds. Now, this is the part of the consultation I always stop and ask the question, how often do you weigh yourself? Why it's important to weigh yourself every day, why we should not focus on that daily number, because we do need to understand that our body does fluctuate up and down throughout the week. Heck, throughout the day, it fluctuates back and forth. And those fluctuations are natural, and that happens with so many different factors, right? Some of them being hormone levels, hydration levels, sodium levels within the body, which kind of plays a factor with the hydration. Sleep, if you're not getting enough sleep, that kind of messes you up. Cortisone levels. There's so many different things, right, that causes these fluctuations. I fluctuate back and forth between 2 to 6 pounds. It's just how my body operates. Everybody's body is going to be different, okay? So what's important here is, and we're going to get to this, but what's important here is not to focus on those daily fluctuations, not that daily number, okay? So if you weigh yourself every single day, as I recommend, first thing in the morning, after you use the restroom, right before you hop in the shower, right? So technically no clothes is the best time to weigh yourself, the most accurate weight of the day, okay? Two things here. Weighing yourself every day, you get to see and understand those fluctuations. You get to know yourself a little bit better, meaning maybe you didn't sleep well last night. Maybe you ate a little bit later than what you should have last night. Maybe you didn't exercise as hard, right? Like all these little things that you can say, okay, because I did A, factor in B. This is cause and effect, right? Also, what we do want to focus on is not the daily number, right? Because a lot of times people will weigh themselves, they'll see that fluctuation go up, they're eating healthy, they're exercising, they'll see it go up, and then they'll panic, right? And the first thing they do is, I need to exercise harder and eat less. No. Remember what I said before. The more active you are, the more you need to exercise. That didn't make sense. The more active you are, the more calories you're going to need to eat. Oh, it's a long day already, okay? So keep that in mind. Don't panic. Weigh yourself every day. Add them up at the end of the week. So you should have 7 weigh-ins. Add them all up. You'll have one big number. Divide it by 7. That's your weekly average. That's the only number you should focus on. So if your goal, for example, is to lose weight, that average number should come down. If it's to maintain weight, it should roughly be the same over the course of how many months. And then if you're looking to gain weight, of course, it's going to start coming up. If you're looking to maintain and it's coming up, or you're looking to lose and it's coming up, then we need to make some type of adjustment here, okay? But for the sense of today is just getting your daily caloric needs so you have some place to start, okay? So we have in here age, gender, height, weight, and now your activity level. Now, this is another question I get a lot. Well, what do you consider activity level? Activity level is increasing or elevating your heart rate steadily for at least 30 minutes, aside from your daily normal activities. Meaning, if you walk your dog in the morning, that's not activity. If you're a teacher, for example, and you're on your feet and you're walking around and you walk around the campus some days, that's not activity. This is something your body is completely used to. You've adapted to your job. You've adapted to your daily activities, right? This is setting aside 30 minutes, at least 1 to 3 days per week of a steady state cardio or some type of fun activity you enjoy, something that elevates your heart rate for at least 30 minutes. Okay. That's as basic as it's going to get. Okay. So this is, you have to be honest with yourself because this is going to play a big factor when it comes to getting your calories. Okay. So for me, what I love about this site, again, there's a lot of choices here. So you have basal metabolic, which is basically you laying on the sofa all day doing absolutely nothing. But guess what? Even at that state, you're still burning calories, right? That's what your BMR is. But most of us have at least a job or something that we like to do throughout the day. So if we're not exercising, if we're not taking that 30 minutes, we're not going to the gym, or we're not doing an activity, then we're just considered sedentary, meaning there's little to no exercise added. Okay. Some of us might be at that level. That's fine. We have to start somewhere. If you're looking to add in activity, great. Aim for light exercise first. Always start small. Your goals should always be small, then work your way up. For me, I am active. I exercise daily, whether it's cardio and or going to the gym or combination of both, or intense exercise 3 to 4 times per week. So that's about my category right there. So I'm going to click on that. Now, also here too, if you click on this, it has mild weight loss up to a pound, extreme weight loss up to 2 pounds. Now here, I don't recommend anybody really losing 2 pounds a week unless they have a lot of weight to lose, right? Because you don't want to put somebody in too much of a deficit to where they're going to be starving. A deficit just means reducing the calories from what they need to maintain, right? So I usually go with either a pound or a half a pound a week, depending on how much weight or what somebody's goal weight is and how much they need to lose, right? And then there's weight gain, and then all the way up to extreme weight gain. But you notice 2 pounds is the mark, right? So when it comes to weight loss or weight gain, that is a healthy way. That's you don't want to go more than 2 pounds. If you're gaining more than 2 pounds a week, that's not good. If you're losing more than 2 pounds a week, that's probably not good either. That means you're probably chipping away at some muscle and whatnot. And we don't want to do that. We want to try to maintain as much lean mass as possible. And I'm rambling. I get it, but there's a lot to know here and understand. Now, getting back to the basics, okay? So for me, I just want to maintain my weight of 174 pounds, keep on my mass, and just eat healthy, right? Now you just hit calculate. Now look at this. So like I said, this site gives you a lot of different things here. You can even scroll down and there's a ton of different information. What are macronutrients, the explanation, all that stuff. But anyway, we want to focus right here. Okay. So for me, to maintain my weight with my activity level, my height, my age, my gender, all that stuff that we just put in there, I need 2,585 calories per day. That's to maintain. Okay. That's for me. It's going to be different for you. I guarantee it. Unless you're the same age, height, weight, gender, all that stuff. Anyway, there's a lot of numbers here, right? So if we're looking at this screen, then we want to look at two different things, as I mentioned before, the food energy, which is your daily calories, and your protein. Okay. If you want to get into the specific macronutrients, you can do that here. It does give you a breakdown of how many you should get. And also too, up here, this is a balanced approach. You can do a low fat approach and you see the numbers changing, a low carb approach, a high protein, and you can even create your own once you get a little bit creative here and you understand nutrition and you know what you're doing. I always go for balance because it makes more sense. We're always told to have a healthy, balanced diet anyway. So especially for somebody who's just looking to lose weight or have a particular goal, this is the way to go. Okay. So, and not only that too, if you're eating a balanced diet, you really don't have to worry about the carbs, the fats, the sugar, and the saturated fat. Those are things that are kind of common sense. We know to avoid most of those things and eat healthier. We know what's healthy for us. We know what's not. So we want to focus on the protein and the calories. Now I'm going to show you something here. We're going back to that energy thing. Okay. And activity level. So for me to maintain, I need 2,585 calories per day. Okay. So now I'm going to go back. Remember that 2,585 calories per day. So now I'm going to lower my activity. I'm going to say I'm sedentary, little to no exercise. So I stopped going to the gym. I stopped exercising. I just go to work every day. That's it. That's my activities. Watch how drastically my calories drop to maintain my weight. 2,000 calories. See, the more active you are, the more you get to eat. That's why a combination of exercise and nutrition is always the best remedy. Okay. So go back to that again. Let's say I'm back at my active daily activity and I want to lose a half a pound a week. right? Let's say I want to go into a cut, I'm preparing for a show, or I just want to get beach ready, whatever the case may be. I live in Florida, so the beach is, it's the spot to be. Calculate. See, slight difference. Now it puts me in a slight deficit, but not a tremendous deficit, but enough to where it's going to help me burn through my carbs to get to that fat storage and start burning off the fat to lose a healthy weight. Okay. It's this simple, guys. When I'm done with the nutrition consultation, I go back to here. I right copy, paste, right click, copy, paste it, send it in an email, so on and so forth. Okay. It's that simple. And now that you know how to do this, when this video is over, go to macro calculator from calculator.net, type in your demographics, get your caloric needs for the day, and you're good to go. All right. So now that you have your calories, that's fantastic. But now, how do you get to those calories per day, right? You can't just guess. I mean, you could do your best, but it's probably not going to be very effective. You're either going to end up under eating or overeating. Okay. Get a food scale. I cannot emphasize on that enough. Get a food scale. As you can see, I just pulled up a quick little screenshot over here of Amazon. That's page one. There's hundreds of them, thousands of them on there. Find the one that works best for you, the one that you like, the one that goes with your kitchen decor, one that you can bring with you if you need to, whichever one is most convenient for you. I suggest going digital. Don't go old school with the gauge on it. Go digital. I prefer the one over here. That's the one I have. It comes with the batteries. It's about $13.99, whatever. Again, find the one that works best for you. When you get it, if you've never used one before, get to know how to use it. Mess around with it a little bit. Put the batteries in, turn it on, learn and understand how to use it. There's a little user guide that it comes with, very short, maybe 3-4 pages. It explains how to use it properly. I can do a complete video on going over a food scale. In fact, my calorie counting video that I have, it actually goes through a tutorial on how to use this particular food scale. So if you want, check that one out. But do yourself a favor. Get a food scale. Why? Because it's going to get you as close to that daily number that you need for you as an individual for whatever your goal is, whether it's lose weight, maintain weight, or gain weight. Okay? This is going to be your best friend in the kitchen. Yes, I know it's a pain in the butt to have to weigh things out all the time. Now, there are ways to make it easier. Again, check out that video. I will show you ways how to make it easier. But this here, again, after you use it for a certain amount of time, things become a little bit more intuitive to you. You'll be able to look at a piece of chicken, for example, about the size of this mouse and say, okay, that's about 4 ounces. Why? Because you've measured it so many times, you've seen it so many times that it becomes intuitive for you and you'll be fine. Okay. But in the beginning, if you really want to change your body, change your weight, you need to put in a little bit of work. This is where that little bit of work comes in. This is on you. This is me showing you the door. This is you attempting to grab that handle, open it up, and walk on through. But in order to do that, you have to be the one to put in the work. So get yourself a food scale. All right, guys. So that's it. That's basically how to effectively lose weight, gain weight, maintain weight in the most simplest form, the most straightforward form, the most honest form that I could provide you with. Okay. So hopefully you go through, you get your calories for the day, be honest with your weight, be honest with your activity, get your caloric needs for the day. Go on Amazon, go to Walmart, go to Target, go to whatever store is closest to you. Get yourself a food scale, learn how to use it, and start tracking your calories. Okay.